Good day, good day. I won't be before you long. Just had a thought as I'm on the treadmill. And that is, again, the discussion of legal versus lawful. Legal, if you look up in the Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, states that it is permitted by law. It states that it is posited by the courts as the inference of the law. Okay? In other words, legal is a tool used by the particular private international organization, or AKA the legal industry. It is their patented tool. It looks like law in that it takes its authority and is permitted, as I stated before, to exist, to do business in place of law. Because it looks so much like law that on paper, by contract, by agreement, the law cannot discount it, because if it did, this particular private organization, this legal industry could bring reproach, I'll say, against the law, because it copycats after the law. So if you say that our system, our legal system, cannot hold someone or bind someone in contract, if you say that we cannot use our patented system of legalese to lure someone in by their own agreement, whether implied, expressed, or tacitly, then law, you are a hypocrite. And the truth is not in you. That's what the legal system does. And that's why in the scriptures it talks about the accusers of the brethren. Because the legal system functions on accusations. And those accusations come about through legal presumptions of law, through fictions of law, through reenactments of an event that the perpetrators within the legal system, the legal practitioners, may not have had firsthand knowledge about, but what they do is they go around the city, the town, the community, the society, and they find other people who are willing to make a statement and then to sign, as it were, contractually, that statement they are making is matter of fact, and they will try to get 2 or 3 witnesses, as the scripture says, let every word be established in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So these legal industry practitioners, they specialize in building cases to raise and bring accusations, which are then brought to the court, which they are all sworn on oath to serve as officers of the court. And this is their coven, as it were, this is their honeycomb hideout, as it were. And this is where they put on their suit and they put on a show. They act. They're actors, state actors. And so this is where the volleying takes place in the courtroom, reminiscent, of the tennis court or basketball court or any other court where there are opposing sides in the legal case, defendant versus plaintiff, or vice versa, plaintiff or state versus the defendant. This is what goes on in the court room. If you are not competent or able to return the serve of the plaintiff or the accusation of the plaintiff, then you lose the match. You did not bring a defense that stood the test of time. But I digress. This is what is going on. Legal versus lawful. Legal is merely the little brother of law. It wants to be the law, but alas, it cannot be, for it is a copycat. And legal, the issue, the subject matter of legal versus lawful has been depicted in every religion, especially and specifically Christianity. Legal versus lawful is depicted from the very beginning of the scriptures, in the Adam and Eve account, in the Cain and Abel account, in the Joseph and his many brothers, the coat of many colors, in Jacob and Esau. And you can keep on going all through the script. This, I contend, is the esoteric, occultic manifestation of legal versus law. The younger looks to usurp the older, looks to take the birthright of the older. And this is what legal does. This is a system, a private international organization that has spread and expanded the globe in every industry. And they have set up shop. And then they have recruited to further expand the brotherhood. You can go and pass the bar association, the bar. You can join the association, swear to secrecy, if you will. And you will have a duty first to the court, to the state, and then perhaps to your client. But the state is the father. The state is the parens patriae, the father, the parent of the state. That title actually is affixed to a particular status, a particular office in the state. And that office is known as the, go get it, go figure, Attorney General. That is the one who acts as the parent of the state. You'll find these practitioners in every element and every aspect of business, commercial activity, worldwide. They're who every CEO, CFO, COO, Human Resources Department depends upon in order to make a decision. Because they know the ins and outs of the law, because they specialize in copycatting the law and then positing it as the inference of the law. If you don't understand what that means, I challenge you to look up two terms. Number one, posit, P-O-S-I-T. This is what the courts do with evidence. The other term, the second term, is inference, as in the courts use legalities as the inference of the law. I challenge you to look that up if you have not already. And so my point today is that we need to know this. Why? We need to know this. It's more powerful. Right now, let me just say this. Right now, this particular industry has entrenched, and not only entrenched, but enriched themselves on the backs of fools, as it were, myself included at a particular time. Ignorance. This is how the particular society in question is funded. It's no different from what I talked about in our last upload, the dire straits we are now experiencing in the trades. It's no different because we have to depend, and we have learned, we don't have to, we have learned to depend on someone else to do for us what we should be doing for ourselves. And let me qualify once again, I am all for small business. I run small business. I am all for farmers. I plan to do some farming. So I'm not against a well-organized business. But what I am talking about, what I am focusing on, is the prevailing status, I'll say, today, where we depend on all things external to take care of the things that affect us internally, where we take handouts and subsidies, and in doing so, we sign contracts without full consideration, without full knowledge of what it is we are signing. And this is how the particular industry in question prays. That's a strong indictment. So maybe I won't go as far as to say pray. I'll let you make that determination. But I will say this is how they are enriched. And how so, right? What poor attorney do you know? I'm just saying. What poor judge? What poor attorney general struggling to make ends meet? Unless they have an addiction to something, some kind of drug or whatever, or alcoholism, right? So I'm just challenging you to think these things through. And furthermore, do your research on this. If we don't, first of all, undergird the trades, the infrastructure of our free society, we will no longer have one. And that is being siphoned away from you as we speak. Get involved in a trade if you don't know how. Contact me, and I will help you get started. You want to be the most valuable person in the room? You can have your cake and eat it too. In that, while you're making yourself the most valuable person in the room, you'll also grow a network unparalleled. You'll also grow the community which you serve. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of the military. Okay? I personally and individually do not believe we were meant necessarily to be, how should I put it, enrolled in these huge organizations that have been swallowing up all of the mom and pops and the smaller box stores, the small businesses. I don't believe that. I believe that each one of us were supposed to learn a skill, learn a trade in your family, perhaps, right? Like the Jacksons, the Blackstones, and all this kind of stuff. Those last names, or what they're, those surnames or family names, were indicative of the skill that your family had. The farmers, and all the other last names or surnames or family names, right? They were indicative. Your true name, this is extra, is your first and middle name. The last name is merely a surname. The name that your family was known by because of the trade that they were in. We're losing that. And if we don't do what it takes to get it back, we will also likewise lose our freedoms and liberties. And I'm not going to the furthest extremes once again. I'm merely stating a fact. Ask some people that have come from third world countries and that are now here, and they're trying to sound the alarm or warn that this is reminiscent of where we come from. We came to America to get away from the very thing that they are now recognizing. So I'm just saying, it's the truth anyhow, whether you like it or not. It's the truth. You want to challenge me on it? That's fine. We can debate. I have no problem with that. We can make it a public debate. However, it's not going to change the fact that the skilled trades are dying, and if we don't do something, so will your liberties and your freedoms. If you want to know more, if you want to get involved in the trades, even if it takes a relocation, if you're not doing anything in your state, you're finding it hard to make ends meet, and you have a working knowledge of a tool, a hammer, a saw, a drill, call us up or hit me up. KnowledgeWell, the number 4U, or excuse me, KnowledgeWell is one word, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. And in some cases, we're able to relocate you, get you set up, get you trained, and put you to work for yourself. We're helping you build your own business. We're not giving you a handout, we're giving you a hand up. If you're interested, give us a holler. KnowledgeWell4, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. Look in the description of this video and others. And I just killed my, but I guess it was time to quit anyways. So what say you? Do you have anything you wanted to comment on, whether adverse to my position or with my position? Put it in the comment section. All right, we'll talk to you next time. I will be putting up the third part to the series that I just did a week or so ago. I forget what it's called. But I know we're on the part talking about raising the proper court. I will be uploading that. That should complete the series. It's a 3-part series. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look back in the archives. It's one of my later videos. You'll see part 1 and part 2. I'll put the links to each of them in the description of those videos. You don't want to miss that. You should be watching part 1 and part 2. I think it got like 67 or 70 views. So part 3 is coming out. I'll work on that, probably some today, and have it probably released by tomorrow evening. All right. I think today is the 8th. So look for part 3 either today or at the tomorrow. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate all of your support. If you want to support, if you appreciate this type of information, you want us to keep going, look in the description of this and other videos for information on how you can support. The Cash App is $AmericanConsulate, one word. All right. We will talk to you next time. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Shout outs to all of my people that have been here from the beginning. I appreciate you, and I will continue to appreciate you. We are going up. Lots of good things are happening. You'll start to realize that shortly. All right. Thank you. Courtney, signing out.